Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. It's time for the Niner Hot Seat, and what a pleasure to bring in an old friend, Tom Brady, Sr., locally here from San Mateo, and obviously you know his son. So the first one right off the bat, first of all, welcome, Tom, and we sure appreciate your time to come here. I know you're a busy guy, but in your wildest dreams, did you think Tom would do this?
Absolutely not. You know, he was a pretty good high school football player and got a chance to play at Michigan, and he was a pretty good player at Michigan, and we hope that he'd kind of get the opportunity to get drafted and carry clipboard for 2 or 3 years and get on with his life. And the fates have a different outcome. Absolutely. So we're really thrilled.
I got to ask you a couple things, and you know I've watched him play a lot this year, and I got to tell you he looks bored to me. He goes back, he throws the ball, you know, and on the rare occasion he throws a bad pass, they still catch the ball and everything. Imagine the adrenaline rush he would have playing behind the Niner offensive line, throwing to the Niner receivers.
He would. He definitely would.
Well, now, and let me ask you.
I think Mom and Dad would too.
Yes.
I want to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 100, 1 is not very likely, 100 is an absolute lock. What are the chances of him going into Patriot management and saying, "I want out of this hellhole. I want to go back and play for the Niners"?
I'm not a betting man, but I would think that's a rather remote possibility.
So you're leaving the door open.
I would say about a 1. I'd say about a 1 or 2.
All right. Well, I can live with that.
So there's a chance.
I can live with that. That's right.
Dumb and dumber.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
No, you know, I was interested in your opinion, Mr. Brady, of, you know, your son has something that a lot of quarterbacks haven't had. I mean, kind of that Joe Montana sense of playing football. I mean, obviously a great athlete, a big guy, can throw the ball, but did you see that at a young age? And do you agree that he's got that innate ability to play football that just doesn't arrive with many quarterbacks?
You know, I think as a parent, oftentimes you look at your kid and you probably see the warts. So you're a little bit more critical. And it's his evolution is. We thought he was a darn good quarterback in college, but you start Joe. Nobody's like Joe or Steve Young. I mean, we're so blessed in this area. Whether it goes back to Frankie Albert or Y.A. Tittle or John Brody or Joe Montana or Steve. I mean, what are there 26 quarterbacks in the National Football League Hall of Fame, and I think 3 of them or 4 of them have played in this town. And I'm saying, wow, we've been spoiled.
Yeah.
And so when I've seen Joe, I haven't seen Tommy. I mean, when I see Tommy, I haven't seen Joe. I'm now starting to see Tommy's got the same serenity that Joe has, that he kind of picks it up. And the other is the differentiator between pro football and college football is it's not athletic ability, it's the ability to process between the years. Yeah. And that comes from years of training. And Montana had a serenity back there. There was nothing frenetic about Joe. I mean, Joe would make plays and it would look kind of simple and while it was, and he had tremendous coaching with Bill Walsh, and now I'm looking at Tommy, and he's had great coaching, and he also has a great offensive line, which the 49ers had. He's got great compliments with wide receivers, with Dwight Clark and Freddie Solomon and Jerry Rice, and Tommy's has that now for the first time, and so Joe's number 1, but our son at least the coach that's leading this crazy band, and it's really a terrific experience for a parent to see your kid happy.
Okay,
and that's
so
kind of
we've said all the nice things, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
So now, as he's a kid growing up, we're going to turn this into hard copy. Give me some dirt on something that he did as a kid that used to drive you nuts. And I say this because my son's over there, and I made a list of the stuff that he did. There's got to be a couple.
I mean, one thing that I never knew for years, that the coach that's leading this crazy band, and it's really a terrific experience for a parent to see your kid happy.
Okay,
and that's
so we've said all the nice things, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
So now, as he's a kid growing up, we're going to turn this into hard copy. Give me some dirt on something that he did as a kid that used to drive you nuts. And I say this because my son's over there, and I made a list of the stuff that he did. There's got to be a couple.
I mean, one thing that I never knew for years was a remote control going through the wall when he lost at something, and my wife hung a picture over it. And I never knew until he had gone away to college, and she said it's time to remove the picture, that there was a wall in there because he had lost it at a competition. So he's, you know, it's just, that's it. But he, all in all, he didn't give us a lot of trouble. He's
You know, and that was the thing that they always talked about Montana, is whether you're playing ping pong with him or whether you're playing a video game, he was so intensely competitive, he just would not lose. Was Tom like that?
Absolutely.
Was that something?
I remember playing, you know, when he went away to Michigan, I hated to have him go away to Michigan because that meant that we weren't going to be able to play golf on Sundays, right? I mean, and that's what dads like to do with sons.
Sure.
But when he went away to Michigan, it was really a magnificent opportunity for him to grow up. But before that, long before that, we were playing golf, and we were on our way to Candlestick Park at that time to go see the Giants. We stopped to play golf up up in South San Francisco where I play, and he had a horrible temper, and we would start playing, and we would bet, and I'd bet him $1 against a car wash, or $5, and we would double or nothing. And we got to the 8th hole, and he owed me like 55 car washes. Yeah, he did. And he finally, I mean, he just keep double or nothing, and so he fired his club much farther than the golf ball went, and so I sent him to the car, and he came back, and I finished playing and went to the car. We went to Candlestick Park, and he was crying and stuff. And at the end of it, he says, "Let's go back and play some more." Okay. So it was just what you're saying. Competitors are competitors. You know.
We've got about 45 seconds left in the obvious question. I know you go to a lot of the home games and the family travels, but I mean, how much fun is this, Tom?
It just doesn't get any better. I mean, it used to be quite nerve-wracking because. When he went through high school, he didn't get a chance to play as a freshman, and then he got to college, and if he didn't play well in the first quarter, and they brought in a Drew Henson or somebody else in the second quarter, he wouldn't play the second half. Mm-hmm. And then now, the beginning of the pros, we were waiting for the shoe to drop. You know, to get yanked. Now he's starting to get firmly entrenched as the quarterback, so we don't have to worry about that too much. So pretty confident now.
Who are the other quarterbacks on the Patriots? I'm serious. I would have no idea. I mean, I'm not trying to be facetious.
We got a real good kid. We got two great kids. We got Matt Castle, who went to USC, and we got a great kid from De La Salle, Matt Gutierrez.
Oh, Gutierrez.
Guys, I got to wrap this up, but Tom, you'll stay here with us for the next segment?
I'd be happy to.
Okay. We're going to be back with more and Tom in our preview, and we'll look around the NFL right after this.